Know about microevolution, we first have to know evolution. Evolution means the gradual changes. Gradual changes. But how these changes occur? These changes must have occurs in genetic level, and after several generations, new species formed, having that changes is called evolution. Suppose species 1 is there, and in species 1, inside the gene, some changes occur due to mutation. Mutation means any changes occur in the gene level. Then this mutation, after some time several generation, ultimately forms species 2, which have some differences with the species 1, which have some differences with species 2 for differences from species 1, and ultimately it is the new species. So this is all about evolution. Now this evolution is of two types. One is macro, another is micro. Or many types of evolution are there, but in this case, macroevolution means large scale changes in gene level, and here small scale changes. So this evolution, small scale changes is called microevolution, and large scale changes is macroevolution. This evolution occurs due to gradual changes, and ultimately macro and microevolution occurs due to macroevolution. It occurs due to large-scale changes, and microevolution occurs due to small-scale changes. Now, this microevolution means the gradual changes in a population of gene frequencies from one generation to the next, caused by the fundamental forces of evolution. What are the fundamental forces? Mutation, gene flow, genetic drift, and natural selection. Now, what is gene frequency? Gene frequency means if we know that we have 23 pairs of chromosome. Each chromosome pairs are known as homologous pair. Homologous pair. Of this homologous pair, one chromosome comes from father side, one chromosome from mother side. Within this homologous chromosome, genes are located just opposite to each other, and they are known as allele. They are known as allele to each other. Gene frequency is the proportion of specific allele. Proportion of specific allele. For example, the alleles for eye color. Suppose it is B color in case of father, in case of mother, small b in case of mother, in case of father. So this B color, eye color, it is dominant, it is recessive. So if in that population there are 100 people, the total number of B alleles will be total number of B alleles is divided by the total number of gene copies. So the total number of B alleles is 123 and total number of gene copies, because there are 100 people, so each have 100 people, each have 2 genes per allele, so there will be 200 gene copies. So if we want to know the gene frequency, so whatever 123 B alleles are there, so gene frequency will be 123 divided by 200 equal to 0.61615. So this is all about the gene frequency, and this microevolution alters the genetic equilibrium also. At the same time, relatively very small changes, and it focuses particularly on changes in the single species. If we observe this picture, we'll find that here before pesticide application, what do we mean by pesticide? Pesticide which kills the pests. So to kill the pest, pesticides are used, but due to mutation, some of these pests change themselves into red-colored pests. So after the application of pesticide, green-colored pests are totally eradication occurs, and at the same time, so when they become resistant with the evolution of red-colored pests, they become survives and they are not attacked by, eradicated by this pesticide. Similarly, if we observe the antibiotic, actually antibiotic are used to treat for the bacteria, but sometimes it is found as particular antibiotics do not work on this bacteria. That means bacteria change itself by natural selection and mutation and multiply them, becoming antibiotic resistant bacteria. Now, actually various forces help in the microevolution. These are mutation, gene flow, genetic drift, and natural selection. So if we observe the mutation, what is mutation? Mutation means any change in gene. Suppose this is gene, change in gene is called mutation, and whatever mutation caused by various agents, one is physical agents, one is chemical agent. But due to the effect of this chemical agent, physical agent, mutation occurs, which completely change the formation of new alleles. That means if alleles are there, they change, mutation will occur there, and they completely change and ultimately form new species. So mutation forming new alleles, altering genetic frequency. If the mutation occurs in gamete, it passes into the offspring, produce new varieties of species, and it also provides genetic variation. Because mutation significantly alters allelic frequency and provides various diversity of genetic characters or traits within a population. See here, this same thing already discussed in the previous. Due to the spray of this pesticide, of the green colored, all the green colored pests are eradicated, and at the same time, due to mutation, a new variety of pests arrived, which is red colored. some generation, future generation, they have the resistance power to fight against the particular pesticide. Now, this mutation not sufficient due to they are occur very rarely and very silent and harmful. Sometimes it may be harmful and require other forces to spread throughout the population. Again, number 2 is gene flows. Here is gene flow means movement of genes from one place to another. See here, this is place number 1, this is place number 2. So if some individual moves here to here, it is called migration. So at the same time, after moving there, these individuals will mix up with the second place population, and due to mixing of them, fertilization and new generation will occur, which means that flow of genes from the particular first place to second place occur, and new formation of new generation, new species will occur. So gene flow causes microevolution by migration and change in alleles. By the influx and outflux of allele, it completely alters the frequency of different allele within the recipient. And in migration, when an individual moves from one place to another, they transfer their genes to new population by reproduction process. So this gene flow increases genetic diversity, at the same time it decreases genetic differences also, and actually gene flow makes the foundation of evolution. So here, see here, it is the brown colored beetles which moves to the second place with the green color and mix up with them and form. That means gene flow will occur there, and transfer of genes of occurs, and new individuals will form. Next one is called genetic drift. Drift means change, and that means changes of genes from one generation to another, from one place to another. It is called genetic drift. Suppose this is the place number 1. This is place number 2. So if in this place red color and white colored birds are there, red color is 5, white color is 10. And after some time, due to natural calamities, some of them, both red colored and white colored, suppose red colored 2 and white colored 7, moves there. This is called randomness. So this is called randomness. A change of gene character occurs here, but it will be in randomness, not regularly, because in that case both red colored and green colored occur. Red colored and green colored occur in haphazardly, that is randomness. And due to this randomness and natural disaster which occurs by chance, this significant shift of alleles or frequency occurs, and the effect of genetic drifts is actually very much stronger in small population than in large population. In large population, such a randomness does not occur. Beside this, these genetic drift also alter genetic makeup, and at the same time it fixes some alleles and lost some alleles, and it also reduced adaptability to the environment but increased vulnerability. For example, cheetah, which is now become more vulnerable, and due to microevolution, this cheetah, which is now very few in number, and we know that cheetah is the fastest animal which can run 75 or 85 to 85 kilometers per hour. Now, if we observe this picture where more red colored, dark, and two white colored ducks are present in first generation where gene frequency is 0.5, 0.5. But after move from one place to another, genetic drift occurs due to natural calamities. The frequency become 0.7 and 0.3 in case of red and white colored duck respectively. But at the last generation or current generation, it is found that totally eradication of white colored duck occurs here. Only the availability of red colored duck occurs here. After this, if we observe the genetic drift in bottleneck experiment, it is found that in a bottle, all these which is original population, all the characters are found in this bottle, but due to as this narrow neck of bottle shows or signifies the natural calamities due to which very less number of species survive, and we found here that only green colored species will survive and very less number of red colored species survive, and after next generation after generation green colored species will survive more than red colored organism. Next, this is all about natural selection. But how natural selection occurs? Natural selection occurs due to some factors. These are the number one is overproduction. We struggle for existence. This struggle for existence also by three ways. One is intraspecific struggle. That means struggle occurs within the same species. When struggle occurs in between different types of species, it is called interspecific struggle. And last one is called environmental struggle, in which due to environmental factors, many of the species become eradicated. So due to this struggle for existence, new species will arrive, and which occurs due to variation occurs, that means changes occurs there, and good characters or advantageous characters of traits will, due to heritability, it passes to the next generation, and at the same time alleles frequency change, and over after successive generation, nature will select ultimate the more advantageous character than the less favorable character, and ultimately new species will arrive. If we observe this picture, it will found that here is a population. Here is a population which shows the different color of different types of mice present in the rock area, present having both tan colored mice and black colored mice. But the tan colored mice are more visible to the predator's bird, which are more consumed by that particular predator bird than the black colored mice. And ultimately, after few generations, it is found that only black colored mice survive because it is the struggle for existence. Due to as they change their colored due to mutation, they survive, and tan colored mice completely eradicate. So this is all about microevolution. Thank you.